catch you off guard? Like you didn't know something was going to happen, or did you see the full script every time you did an episode?
We would see the full script. We would see it like maybe a week and a half before we had to shoot. And, you know, every time we get a script, we run through the pages like, damn, who's going to die next? Because, you know.
Yeah. Start wiping people out.
Start wiping people out, you know. This is the value of life is not that, you know, high over there. But then again, when you're in the political realm, when you find out that people are getting pushed out and the way they play in that arena, it's like you might run for mayor today, but your boy's going to stab you in the back.
That was good too. I mean, I only caught, I think, a couple of seasons. I still have box sets to catch up on, do a marathon. But from what I saw, I loved that whole thing with, you know, the again, good guys were just as shitty and corrupt.
And politicking.
And the politics as the bad guys that they're trying to, you know,
no one is safe.
Put out of business.
You know, that's what it's I think it's basically trying to tell you also, no one is safe and there's no 100% good guy. You know, everybody has flaws, but some people just cover them well.
Yeah.
You know?
And under the guise of being a politician, so you're, you know, you're the good guy, but you're doing just as scummy shit as the dealer. That's, you know, exactly. That's
just on another level.
Yeah.
Who was the hardest one for you to watch get killed? I heard Michael K. Williams interviewed, and he was talking about it was hard for him, I think, to watch Bodie get killed because he had worked with him for a long time. And just to see him go. Was there one that you watched and you were like, oof?
You know, I started the 3rd season, so every time from what what they did on the show was whenever somebody was going to get taken out, especially if you was a part of the show for a while, we would all come down to set when it was lights out. So, but for me personally, of course, it wasn't very difficult for me because, you know, you have lights, cameras, you have action, you have, okay, boom, it's down the 3rd, and then you have to do the shot. I mean, we shoot the scene multiple times.
Right.
But Bodie was a trooper, but one of the most the one that affected me the most, I would have to say, was Prop Joe. Prop Joe's a thespian. The man is amazing as far as his talent goes. And when you guys get a chance to watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because if you see him in other works also, but just doing that scene with him, you know, and knowing that he's been a part of the show since the beginning also, and me actually being in front of him and it was just an emotional moment. But I mean, at the same time, it was emotional, but you know, you get pulled out of that because it's work.
You realize, it's work.
You realize it's work. Lights, cameras, action, boom, boom, hit your mark, turn around. And that scene with Prop Joe, it took me, I had maybe 4 lines, and I could not get the lines. Like, I was so focused on him. My lines was like, I couldn't get the lines in order. So I would say the lines backwards. And it was very important that those lines be said correctly. So Andre Royer was sitting in the back, was like, you got to get it, man. And Ed Burns was like, listen, we need this line this way, you know? So you do, you don't. I mean, I forgot the lines exactly.
Oh, the lines were chilling. One of them, Prop Joe said to him, I treated you like a son. And you're like, I'm not meant to play the son. Wow, that's a really hard one to negotiate with.
True sociopath.
Wow. Is that, where do you go from there? Because he really was good to your character.
No, but look, you want to say Prop Joe was good, but the reality is the man pushed a lot of buttons. Look, you're in a world where, look, it's life or death, right? And you got to live or you have to die. And you looked out for me, but in reality, if you got to pinch my head, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's Prop Joe. So I'm not made to play his son, because if you have to take me out, you will set me up, because he was the one setting. He was the true boss.
That's true.
If you really look at
the puppet master kind of.
He was the puppet master, you know? So he can actually take me out if he wanted to, which he probably tried also.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of it that way, because what was the line? I don't want to do your lines to you, but there really was only a few of them, but boy, did they really hit home runs.
Jim Crazy.
They were great. It was, he's like, look, he's trying to negotiate. He's like, oh, I'll just go away. And you're like, look, we both know you'd be up to mischief in no time. You can't leave this any more than I can. And then he tells him to close his eye. Close your eyes. It won't hurt.
That's pretty chilling right there.
But it was almost like the only gentle moment.
From he's killing someone. Yeah,
dude, that scene moment. I watched over and over again. Because I've never seen The Wire whenever they killed somebody, they humanized all these killings, where you felt every one. They didn't just they didn't cartoon them where dead drug dealer, you know what I mean? Right. The only one that they kind of showed indifference to was Omar's killing, because I think they wanted you to feel like this is how
It really is.
This is how the streets view a guy like this. Like, yeah, he's your hero because he's on the show. But in real life, his body bag gets mixed up and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cries when he dies. Nobody gives a shit.
No. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what else is a chilling scene in a movie that's sort of reminiscent of that is Saving Private Ryan, where the Jewish kid is having a fight with a big Nazi and knockdown drag out upstairs, and he takes the knife. And he finally the Nazi overpowers him, and he's pushing the knife right into his chest. And as he's doing it, he's just looking at him going, shh, shh, shh. Like telling him to just be quiet. It'll be over in a second. Just going to fucking stick this bayonet in your chest. That was probably the hardest part of that movie to watch.
And difficult to watch.
Oh. Right. Because it's so brutal. It's like, God damn, that probably happened. You know?
Yeah, but the shushing, nobody wants to be shushed.
Not shushed when you're, yeah.
Shushing.
Because you're going to be shushed for the rest of your life.
Yeah, look, I have until Christ comes back to be quiet. Can I at least talk for a second here?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's and you also know that your begging and your pleading is to no avail.
It's just worthless. You can't bargain.
It's like in Reservoir Dogs, where Michael Madsen is like...
Oh, yeah. I don't care what you say.
Yep.
What you don't say.
Yeah, I'm going to torture you anyway.
I'm going to torture you. Doesn't matter. And you knew he was gonna.
Yeah.
That was it.
You remember that scene when he cuts the cop's ear off?
Oh,
I mean, yeah, but just the fact that you can beg and plead. And that's the reason why, for me, movement is life. No matter what you do, don't beg, just move. Move, shake, move, and do what you have to do to get out there. Like Prop Joe, if he would have just moved, like grab, did something. You know,
but he sat there and he took
it. But it's scripted that he actually has to sit still, but in reality, it's like, move.
Yeah, but he was fat and he probably couldn't have run too well. And he didn't exactly come alone. He just kind of nodded at the guy behind him. Well, let's not forget to mention that fucking Chris Partle had a fucking pistol at the back of Prop. This wasn't a voluntary suicide. Fucking Fat Joe in his old house at the kitchen table. He was in front of him, and there was a guy behind him pointing a pistol at the back.
The old just in case.
Just in case Fatso tries to make it out the front door. I've got that angle covered.
Also, it was like when Dennis Hopper in True Romance knows he's gonna die, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna piss these guineas off.
He just gave it up.
Yeah, he just
for a cigarette, and he goes,
yeah, I'm gonna let me just enjoy this cigarette because I'm gonna fucking die.
I'm gonna give you a speech you don't want to fucking hear.
Yeah,
and he knew that. I think he wanted to be killed quick too, so he knew that if I fucking make them angry enough, this guy will just grab a pistol as opposed to torture him.
I brought it back to True Romance. I remember that's when I was in the city in 50th. I actually snuck into the movie theater to go.
That $2 movie theater, right?
Stuck.
That $2. I fucking used to go there all the time, man.
Yes, indeed.
It's $2.
I snuck into the movie theater for $2, and I'm still sneaking in.
Yeah,
you know, I connection with the guy.
And then you hit like 2 or 3 movies. Yeah, and it was playing there.
Yeah, man, True Romance.
Because nobody saw that movie when it first came out because it had Christian Slater and he just did a couple of romantic comedies, and it was True Romance. It's like, ugh. But I read it. I remember reading a review and Tarantino wrote it. I'm like, I gotta go see this. This is gonna be good. And nobody saw it in the theater though.
Yeah, you were kind of a little bamboozled by the title.
Yeah, you don't want romance.
Yeah, but it was a good film.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was fucking. It was well directed. The dialogue was amazing.
And more ruthless stuff like Gandolfini.
That's how he got the role of Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano, yeah. When he's in that hotel room with what's her name?
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah, Patricia Arquette, and he goes, "Turn around for me, spin around for me."
No, the other way.
The other way. And she gives this turn like, oh, he wants to look at my ass or something.
Right.
And she turns, and he fucking was waiting with her right hand, just slams her in the face.
And that grin he makes, that smile he makes.
Yeah, he kind of twists his head a little and smiles like,
that felt good.
They fall for it every time. You know, fucking ruthlessness. I don't know what it is, but people really do enjoy watching that ruthlessness in movies and television. It's just something that grabs you like, fuck, that is bad.
That unpredictable.
Yeah.
That you know, people love the bad guy.
It gets you like it frightens you in a way like, God, how do you handle a situation where no one cares? This person, there's no magic word.
Nope.
There's nothing you can say to make this guy give a flying fuck about you. You are dead or getting the shit beat out of you or whatever. It's just ruthless.
People love the bad guy because it's a safe chance to interact with the bad guy. It's like you can always interact with good guys, you know what I mean? True. But how can I get close to a bad guy and see how he is without having to suffer? And I think
consequences of being around that person.
Yeah, because normally the consequences of being around a bad guy are either you go to jail or you're killed or there's something bad happens to you.
Do you find is it easier to play a bad guy, a good guy, funny guy? Like what's more difficult? You've been in theater since your teens. I mean.
Yeah, you know what? All of the roles, just approaching the roles to me is reading the script, enjoying it, and then saying, okay, it's a go. In regards to just working on a character, but it's not really difficult in playing one or the other.
You ever look at something though and say like, I don't think I can do that, or not a part that doesn't fit you, but you don't think I can pull it off? Do you
know what?
That?
Sometimes it would be something that's just like the experience, like maybe I haven't experienced it wholeheartedly, and it would have to take intense research on it. And I would just look at it like, hold on, I'm trying to think of a character off the top of my head that I would say would be probably difficult, or would have been difficult for me to approach. But when it comes to me, I'll let you know. But it's just basically something that is probably something that would take a whole lot of experience and a whole lot of time on this earth for me to even understand it. So.
But is it easier to play the first question I was asking, like bad and evil, than it is to play good and like happy?
No. For me personally, it's like given the opportunity to play a good and happy guy. I think I would do a great job because I'm a happy person. And to translate that into screen.
See, I'm miserable. I think I could play an angry guy.
I'm grateful. Yeah, but it's funny. If you're miserable, you'll probably be better playing a good guy.
Playing a good guy.
Because most of the time it seems like the opposites of what you get to play on TV.
Same with comics. Maybe. Comics are way better dramatic actors than comedy actors.
Right.
Jim would be Jim's a way better dramatic actor than a comic actor.
That's only because I couldn't be worse as a comic actor. By process of elimination, I therefore have to be better. It's mathematics.
That kind of showed that.
Mathematics.
Bob Kelly. On Louis' show when he was playing his brother and he was all upset about the mother and stuff. And I'm watching this going, that's fucking Bobby. He's like crying and shit.
He's a good actor.
You watch him crying.
Filled with emotions.
Doing? Yeah. It's really odd.
They're teaching a course at Harvard on The Wire.
Yeah.
Sure are.
Did you show up for that?
You know what?
And speak in front of the class?
Course. What we showed up to Harvard. Harvard actually presented myself and Michael. Mike was up here, right?
He was on the show when we were in the old studio. He's coming back, but he had I think, a death in the family, so he had to reschedule.
That's right. Well, they presented us with an award at Harvard.
Wow.
It was amazing. So we actually sat down and
at least you got one award. Jesus
know, right?
Christ.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Well, what was the course about?
The course is about Harvard.
Obviously The Wire, but I mean, in what?
You know what? I didn't get full details, but it's about the social effects that people don't get a chance to experience. And because the way that they addressed the students at Harvard is, look, you guys are the haves, and then you need to understand the have-nots. And you get a chance to look at The Wire from a political standpoint, the streets, the Board of Education, all of these institutions that people don't really get a chance to see as a whole. You actually get a chance to watch it. And from what I understand, they view a couple of episodes, choose which one they want to address, and then I think they write a paper on it, and then they come to class with it.
Wow.
Yeah. What a great class that'd be.
Jeez, I could go to Harvard.
No kidding.
No, right?
If that's one of the classes.
That's a way better class to take than the horse shit I taught.
I would write 3 pages on why didn't he just pay for that lollipop? He had the money. But why would you risk getting in trouble?
The professor, Jimmy, I think you missed the point.
And that leads to what you were going to say, Jimmy, about the awards. No awards for The Wire, which just amazes
that drives
us to this day.
Crazy.
Not a one. What do you think that's about?
I guess everything in time. I mean, you fast forward.
You think that was a political thing, or?
Look, like everything in time, I guess. Because you sit back and you watch so many. You know what? I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest.
It's crazy. So, it really is.
I'll let you guys answer that.
Yeah,
did it get any nominations though? Did it get a writing nomination?
It did. Now, actually, I believe we won.
Okay.
For writing?
In season 5?
No, not season 5. I can't remember the exact season, but we did win.
Certainly not season 2.
Right.
It's funny. People.
I like season 2, but it's very different than 1, 3, 4, and 5.
But it shows you. It exposes what's going on.
The docs.
Yeah, the docs I thought were great. It
gets better the second time you watch it.
Because you know that each season's going to change. Like you had this whole cast of characters, and then all of a sudden in season 2, there's all these dock workers. You're like, what's shows? And then they killed fucking the lead from season 1. He gets choked in jail, and you're like, oh boy.
Larry Gill.
Yeah.
What's happening, Larry? The docs. The beautiful thing about the docs to me is that it exposes. Everyone always asks the question, look, they don't make guns in New York. how does the guns come in New York? Where all these drugs and guns and everything coming in, and they exposed it on the docks, you know, coming through the harbor, and they also touch into the lives of the people that are being affected by it. People are struggling, and if you're struggling, if you're working at the airport and you're making $2 an hour, it might just turn the other cheek if somebody offers you $50,000 to do some dirt. You know, just like the docks. You know, somebody turns around and they're not getting paid, then they may just open up